Coach, I know it's not the result that you wanted, but overall, seem to have more chances here tonight than you did last night. What did you think was the difference tonight versus last night?
My feeling was it was more fight in our group tonight. Obviously, the first period last night set the tone for us, and we tried to fight back and fell short, as the scoreboard said. But we had, the vibe with our group, there just seemed to be more energy, more intensity in our group tonight from start to finish. It'll be interesting to see go back to the video and see what it looked like. But that was the vibe on the bench.
Did a lot of penalties
Yeah.
on both ways. Did that, particularly in the first period, seemed like you barely played even strength at all in the first period? Did that impact things as far as getting lines jumbled up and guys having to be out there on the PK power play?
Well, I mean, I think you know this, Drew. Our lineup was jumbled up anyway. We had Zane Dempsey playing forward and so on. It did limit some ice time for some guys and really put a bunch of pressure on some other guys. But I want to look at it from the, when you're shorthanded like that, you need your power play to step up. And we were 0 for 5 and we gave up a shorthanded goal. I mean, I don't want to oversimplify and say that was the reason, but that was a huge reason. But I think to your point, to your question is it just puts too much pressure on the guys that are killing penalties, and it takes some people off the ice, especially when we need to spread out the ice time, just based on our numbers.
Coach, especially as the game went on, it felt like you were forcing a lot of turnovers on the forecheck. What do you think is the next step for you guys to turn those turnovers into offense?
The next step, I think we talked about this, you and I, a little bit last night. It'll be just continuing with that. We didn't think we were getting enough turnovers from our forecheck, probably throughout the season up until last night. Then we made a little bit of a slight change, using more words like aggressive and get up the ice and those kind of things. But just like we talked about in the power play, we want to get chances. The chances from the turnover hopefully will lead to goals at some point. We have to believe that. We know process. The next step is finishing off those turnovers and creating more offense. That's what it is. But I thought we did a much better job tonight of putting pressure on our opponent with our forecheck, and that created turnovers, which did lead to ozone time and some chances, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Talking about chances and shot quantity was pretty high for you guys both nights. Was that the plan to just shoot more in general?
Yeah, and then when our puck went in the second period there, we just wanted to funnel more pucks towards the other team's net. Good things happen when you put pucks on the other goalie. He's obviously a really good goaltender. We knew that. We all believe that we have to earn our bounces, and I don't think we got any. If we didn't get many, I can tell you that. But more pucks, more people at the other teams now. We're going to continue with that.
Coach, it felt like there was a lot of dumping and chasing tonight, and there was times where you guys were able to get into the zone with possession. Was there something about Colorado's system in the defensive zone that kind of prevented from keeping the puck, in your possession, or just prevented you guys from getting in the zone in general?
Getting in the zone in general, they do play a certain style that they make you get it out of your hands, and then you're going to have to go earn it back. We had a plan and continue to have a plan every week when we play somebody. This is what you're going to see as you go through the neutral zone. Theirs is pretty unique, and they're good at it. From a defensive zone standpoint, or our offensive zone, I just think they defend very well. I do. I think they're competitive group, and then when you do get pucks, they seem to block a bunch of shots. That's tough to tell from the video if that's us or them. I give them the credit on that, but those are things we've got to have our head up and make sure those pucks get through. But it is the D zone isn't a system thing. I just think they're good at it and they're real competitive. Their neutral zone is something that looks pretty unique on tape, and we had a plan, and sometimes that plan included dumping it and having to go get it just because they're standing there, and we didn't want to turn that puck over. If we turn it over, we've got no chance for ozone time, and if we at least get it in, we can go fight for a 50-50 puck, which sometimes was good and sometimes wasn't so good.
You saw Simonovic's slot in yesterday as a forward and tonight as on defense. Was there something that you saw from his game that really kind of stood out?
Well, he's a defenseman. We just like Zane Dempsey's a defenseman, but we're so shorthanded up front. We needed some D men to play forward. We think Rehard's is a guy with a bunch of puck skills and a really smart player, and more kind of from the offensive side of things. Demmer is probably more of a bang and crash type of guy, which is what he was. So it just was a different look. Rehard's in particular, we like his progression to this point. He's probably been, if there has been a surprise, he's probably been the biggest surprise, just not really knowing what we were going to, and how quickly he was going to acclimate. But we see really good things with him, and we see a good future for him here. So hopefully this is just the beginning of where he's going to take his game.
Not to look for moral victories, but the PK unit, 5 for 5, you guys blocking shots all over the place.
Yeah.
What does that do for building sort of that camaraderie that you're putting your body up for the player?
Yeah, no, it was a great night on the PK, where last night we struggled, so I know that, Zach went back to work today, and we wanted to get back to the pressure, and I thought we did that. So I wish we didn't have to respond from a tough night last night, but we did that. And, hopefully we can continue to set the bar for ourselves, and it's going to look more like tonight. 5, and they were all pretty early. I don't remember the time of the game where our last penalty was, but I guess going in the third period we were shorthanded for 30 seconds, so the end of the second there. But I thought we did a really good job on the penalty kill, and that's good momentum for us, whether it's a block shot or a clear puck or whatever it is. Just killing the penalty in general is always a good boost, good momentum.
Max, just first, and it's a tough result, but had some bright spots. I want to get your overall perspective on the game, first of all.
I think it was definitely a better overall game than last night. I feel like the first period was a little weird. A lot of special teams, but if you look at the shots, pretty much even. I'm overall happy with the way our team played this tonight, and sometimes you get them. We're dealing with a few injuries, so that's always tough. But I thought it was a pretty good game overall. Unfortunately, the score didn't really reflect that.
On your goal, looked like maybe jumped your stick or something for a second, but you stuck with it. Can you walk me through that play?
Yeah, well, I just hopped off the bench and had some speed, and I don't think anyone marked me because I was coming off the bench, and Johnny made a good pass to me, and then I kind of got it poked away from me, and then coach has been on me to throw more pucks at the net, so I kind of just turned and ripped one, and that one felt good.
Looked like you had a few shots on net. Yeah, actually 5 shots on net, and a couple of good scoring opportunities, particularly late in the game. What were you able to do to lead to those?
I think just finding those soft, quiet areas, and I think I've been trying to work on my game more away from the puck. Finding empty space and putting myself in a position to shoot the puck. And like I said before, my coaches have kind of been on me about shooting the puck. I feel like I'm more of a pass-first player, but I want to start to be more of a shooter. So just having a shooter's mentality whenever I get it.
Seemed like Colorado College brought a lot of physicality, a lot of big hits, and you seemed to try to match it collectively as a team. Was that something you were trying to do going into the game, knowing that they were going to bring that physicality?
Yeah, for sure. I think it kind of goes back to last night too. We weren't happy with our play at all, and feel like we were kind of getting pushed around a little bit. So wanted to come out today and play heavy. I think our team actually did a pretty good job of that. I feel like we played heavier than them today, and just overall, just trying to play the body a lot more often.